A kid disappears from the side of a road in the middle of the night. Nobody, not even the cops of his family, knows what happened to him 12 years later. This mystery starts with a boy named Bryce. Now, Bryce is about 19 years old at that time and living in Laguna Niguel, a quiet region in Orange County, California. To everyone, Bryce was not a troubled kid at all, the type of guy reposters would later describe as really likable. A sophomore at Sierra College, tall, athletic, with red hair and an easy smile. Just a normal guy with a normal life. Now here's the part that becomes interesting. In the weeks before all of this disappearance, the people closest to Bryce started picking on something. They all said the same thing. He wasn't himself anymore. He was falling behind in school, taking stimulants to focus more, and even drinking more than usual. There were some talks about tensions at home with his parents, though not really proven. Then comes August 28th, 2013. Bryce gets in his car and drives 90 miles to Chico to see his girlfriend and to actually break up with her. What happened between them, no one knows. Only one witness, but no story. Once it's over, Bryce starts to drive home to Laguna Niguel, and that is where it all goes south. Bryce was going to his hometown, Laguna Niguel, but then nobody at home knew he was coming. He didn't inform anyone, so no one was expecting him or looking out for him. The next morning, August 29th, his mom, Karen, got a call from an insurance company. Turns out he had run out of gas near Buttonwillow, a small farming town in Kern County. The owner of a local gas station actually drives out to him and hands him a few gallons to get him back on the road. But then, Bryce doesn't continue his journey. Time goes by in hours. His mom calls the gas station owner again, asking him to go back and check on Bryce. He does, and finds Bryce sitting in the same spot, like he hadn't just spent the whole day there. The guy says something to him. Bryce tells him he's about to head out. This turns out to be the first of 3 times a stranger would look at Bryce and not see anything. Brace yourself. It was going to be a pattern for the rest of the day. By that evening, with still no sign of Bryce, his parents began to worry, thinking about all the possible things that could have gone wrong. They call the Orange County Sheriff's Office. The police track his phone and find him not very far from where he was sitting in Kern County. A deputy drives out, locates him, and searches the car. Nothing out of place, no alcohol, no drugs, just a normal kid. Why then was he sitting there for no reason whatsoever? Finally, Bryce moves, pulls back into 15 and continues south. Then at 2:08 a.m., Bryce calls his mom one more time. He says he's exhausted and needs to rest somewhere residential. That's all he says. She told him to lock the door and get some sleep. The kind of advice a mother would give you. Who knew it was going to be their last conversation? Footage picks up his car again about 15 minutes after the call, and suddenly it doesn't make any sense again because he's nowhere in any residential area. He was on an access road by Castaic Lake, a reservoir up in the mountains. The footage shows him passing more than once, circling the area, hesitating. Maybe he was lost, disoriented, and all alone around 4 in the morning. Sometime around 4:20 and 5:15, the car leaves the road completely. It slides down the road and lands on its side, its rear window blown out. Inside, his phone, his wallet, his laptop, but no Bryce. And where does it get sinister and not just about a kid running from home? CHP shows up at his parents' house, and instead of Bryce walking through it, just like how they had hoped, it's the officer telling them the car has been found flipped near Castaic Lake, but no Bryce. Investigators go over the scene with everything they've got, yet they couldn't answer the question. Did that rear window break in the crash, or was someone trying to break out? And why were his phone, laptop, and wallet still there? What would people say of these? Maybe he left them on purpose, walking away from his life, or maybe he was so gone mentally they just didn't matter to him anymore. The search and rescue team went all out. Dogs, helicopters, and volunteers were all present. Still, nothing worthwhile, not even a fingerprint, not even a piece of clothing. And the more the search continued, the more it looked like the absence was trying to say something to them they didn't want to believe. A few days later, a burned body was found near Castaic Lake, but it wasn't him. Separate case. 4 years later, a skull shows up at Templin Highway. Still wasn't him. Over and over again, this case kept playing with the feelings of the family, offering no closure whatsoever. And this was where different theories started showing up, and to be honest, none have been proven. In one version, it was some kind of psychological break, maybe from the stimulants he was taking, and on top of that, the breakup. But how does it explain all the drives and stops he made? The second theory says he vanished by choice, just walked away from everything and everyone on his own terms. Looking at it, his personal belongings were left in the car and not in a state of panic by someone who deliberately does not want to be found. But then, in the practical aspect, how does a teenager just disappear like that? No money, no phone, no connection, no job. How can he manage for 10 years? The third theory is the most frustrating. No villain, no one else, just a kid alone, exhausted after a crash and in the bush, afraid, and whatever happened to him, he couldn't make it out. And that's where it really ends. No twist, no missed detail, and no arrest, because there's not even a confirmed crime to pin to someone. The closest thing to an actual break happened in 2023, 12 years later. A guy who resembled Bryce closely enough in Missoula, Montana. The police went out there to find him, but turns out it wasn't him, just a coincidence. On the 10-year mark, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released a 29-year-old looking Bryce, just in case anyone had seen him anywhere sometime. His mom still keeps his Facebook page running, just in case anyone knows something or has seen anything, and that's where it all ends. A breakdown in the middle of the road, a missing afternoon. Two strangers who saw nothing wrong, a call, a crash, a shattered window, and 12 years later, still a mystery to all. What happened to Bryce?